journaling night. I am just pulling up on my laptop here so I can see all comments coming through. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night. It is beautiful outside here today, so I'm going to try and zip through this for you guys so that you guys can enjoy the beautiful May weather. Hopefully you're having the same thing. Oh, my laptop is being extremely slow. But yeah, welcome here, you guys. I'm going to go through the sticker pages now for you guys so that you guys can see what kind of things I'm working with. And I actually read some books this month, so we're actually going to have something to actually put in to our journal today. So let's start off. We have our dashboard, which is the May dashboard. We have the reading stats and the reading favorites. And then I get 2 sheets of the deco and then the May icons, the journaling kit, the washi strips. I did 1 page of the book review and 1 page of the audiobooks. And then I have the Better Than the Movies book club kit because I finally read it. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. And then we have our main book club for May is Yellowface, and then our secondary Advent one is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Now, I'm going to tell you, I did finish Yellowface. I did not finish Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. I am 56% of the way through, and I am really liking it so far, but I have a very good feeling that I'm going to finish it this month. I just know because we are only on the 27th and I have all the way till Sunday. I have been really, really liking it. So I think I'm going to power through and get it done this month for sure. So we're still going to add it into our journal today. But let's get started because I have a few books to go today. So let's start with the dashboard. And I will wait for everybody to come on in. I'm going to add some washi strips and put my dashboard down. Hello, welcome. So happy you are here. I just went through the different sheets that I'm using for today. We are starting with the dashboard, but I have some very exciting news. I finished the book Better Than the Movies. I am so excited to report that I finally finished that book. I did not finish Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but I did finish Yellowface. So there is that. Okay, super cute. Loving these dashboards. Let's get into our May Red sheet. So we do this. And I forgot to pull out that sheet, so I'm going to have to quickly grab that out of my book here. If you're not familiar, I just use one of these reusable books with the sleeves inside, and that's how I store all of my book journaling stickers. I find it's very handy to have just my book journaling stuff separately so that I can pull it out. And I only had 3 colors that kind of match this kit this month, so I'm just going to be using just 3 colors. For some reason, this orange color was really hard for me to find to marker-wise to match. So we're just going to go with these 3 colors, and I'm going to try not to shake the table too much. I know this table is extremely shaky, so I'm going to try my hardest. Hope you guys are all having a great day. It's fantastic outside here, and I would like to try and read outside as soon as we are done this. So I'll try and get you guys going on this wonderful May day. You're still reading Yellowface and you're enjoying it. Oh, that's so good to know. So let's jump into our book club books. So for the first book, our main book is Yellowface. And I am curious to know before we talk about before we talk about what the book was about and all of that sort of thing, I am so curious to know what you guys are rating this book. I gave it a very generous 3 stars. I kinda wanted to give it 2 stars. And I don't know. For some reason I gave it 3. I gave it 3 probably because of the ending. The ending kind of picked up for me. But I personally felt like it was very much a to-do list. This is how you get into publishing, and this is how publishing works. And I just just wasn't vibing with it. It felt very slow to me. I think I would have DNF'd this book if it wasn't our book club book, to be honest. You started reading tomorrow, but you're slow with this one. I am slow too, and I don't even know where my Kobo says I'm 56% done. But I'm honestly loving it. Like, I am just a naturally slow reader to begin with, but I have just been wanting to continuously come back to it. So I'm really, really liking this book. I have been enjoying it. Okay, let's put some deco here. And then I am going to put down the books. Now, I only have 5 white books. But I did find in some old stickers, I have like this orange and like this tan color, which I thought like really, really matched this whole like theme. So I'm going to use these two as well because I actually read 6 books and I'm really thinking I can read tomorrow and tomorrow by the end of the month. So I am going to put it as if I read it in my thing, and if I didn't, I'll take it out later. So we'll start with that, and I'll just kind of intersperse them. So I'm going to put them in. I am so happy with my reading this month. I feel like I finally got some books read. I have been having a lot of very like low number months, and my Goodreads like goal is 55 books this month, and I just felt like, whew, that's hard for me to get to because I am so behind. It kept saying like you are 6 books behind or whatever it was. So very happy to finally like feel like I'm catching up. So I'm gonna do 6 and then I'm gonna do 7 down here. So I guess, Sharon, you don't have a rating because you haven't finished the books. But that's okay. If you have finished the books and you are just tuning in, just let me know what you rated, what books, if you watched or read Yellowface or Tomorrow. Okay, I am going to color these while I talk about the book. So Yellowface is a book about a girl who is a writer, and her, what she calls her best friend, I guess, they are out celebrating for her friend, and they go back to her apartment, and she ends up choking on a pancake that she's eating, and she does pass away. Now, this friend of hers is also an author, and she is extremely successful, where the main character is not. She is very private about the books that she writes. Like, she doesn't show anybody anything until she's like fully written it. So not even her publishers or anybody, her editors or anything like that, see her books before she is done her first draft, I believe it is. So when she's at her apartment and after she has passed away, she sees the book that she has been working on, and she kind of reads it a little bit and she falls in love with it, and she decides to take the book and she decides to rewrite, well, almost like edit it. She decides to put her own words into there. She decides to punch it up and to make it be a little bit better, and she presents this book as her own. And the book is basically about her and her progress through the ups and downs of this book. So she publishes this book and then they want another one, so she's got to write another book. But she's stuck with this whole guilt of the fact that she stole this book from her dead friend, and she is now famous, she's now successful, she has to crank out another book. It's the ups and downs. It also touches a lot on the fact that her book that she wrote, that, well, her friend wrote and she wrote with her, is about a Chinese woman and the struggles in the Chinese culture, in terms of the war. And it's because her name is not, because she is not Chinese, but because her middle name is Song, her publisher convinces her to go by her last name as being Song so that it appears that she is a little bit more Asian than she, well, because she's not. And so there is a big controversy on that fact of the fact that she is trying to pretend to be um, Chinese when she is not. So there is that whole aspect of the book and her trying to right her wrong. And there is a lot of social media backlash. I think the social media part is the part that I found the most interesting because I feel like it's very accurate. Like people jumping to conclusions. Like someone made this thing that she had stolen this book, it must be stolen, and, like, right away, people were like, "Oh, she's terrible, she's horrible, she should send all her royalties back." Like, no one had any inkling of proof. It's just the fact that one person said a negative comment, and then everybody kinda, like, went off with it, that I just found kind of interesting. Like, that's the part I found interesting because social media is very much what you want people to see, and people can totally mislead the conversation by saying their opinion, and then people just totally take it as truth and they just run with it and stuff like that. So I felt like that was very timely, especially like in these times where everything you see on social media might not be real, like especially with all the AI stuff that's out right now, like you just don't even know if you're seeing something that's fully true. So I felt like that was kind of interesting. So yeah, there that is Yellow Face. And I think for me, the part that I didn't like is it just felt very much like this is what I did, and this is how it went, and then I did this, and then I did this. It was just very much a set list of how she did something and how it worked. So wasn't my favorite, but I know it got really good reviews, so I hope that you guys liked it. Go. Sorry, my laptop is just being a little bit silly. Okay, so that was Yellow Face. It had some like very interesting topics in terms of whether or not somebody could write a book if about another race even if they weren't of that race. I found that conversation very interesting because there was very like differing opinions. Like some people thought that writing a book is art and you should be able to have any kind of character. Some people felt like you should only write about things that you know about. And so I found that discussion very interesting, um, and very, like, yeah, very interesting, I think. So, yeah. I think something that I would do to change the book is that I would maybe introduce something a little bit like I felt like there was no characters. Like we had her family for like a very small little bit, and we had the girl, her friend who died, her mother for a very small little bit, but there was like no interacting with people. There was like no back and forth conversations. It was more just her thoughts in her head and her like opinions on everything. Like I wish that she would be able to like discuss this with somebody, but maybe that was the whole point that she one of her biggest critiques was with her friend was that she um didn't share anything and she was very like all about her. But then the funny thing is when she became famous, that's literally how it became. Like it was all about her and she um, didn't hang out with friends. She had like a friend group that she would talk with, but they just kind of texted each other and just kind of were like catty. Like they weren't really friends. They were just people that were catty and kind of gossiped about other people. Okay, I'm gonna put in my May reads here. So the first book that I finished was On Wings of Blood, which was last month's book club book. I had almost finished when we had done the live, and I had finished when we got the live done, but we had to push it back, so it was technically in May, so I have to put that one in there. And then I read Better Than the Movies. You guys, this was one of our secondary book club book for I think February. I told you guys I was so nervous to read that book because it was not my cup of tea. I loved it. Loved, loved, loved it. I loved it so much. I even read the second one this month. I thought it was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I think it was so good. I'm so glad that you guys told me to go for it, even if it wasn't my normal genre, because I had the best time. And maybe it was the time, like the timing. You know how some books might not be your cup of tea, but just the timing of it. It was an awesome book. I loved it so much. Very, very happy that I read that one. Okay, so then I listened to The Amalfi Curse, which is a book that I started a while ago. I got like 30% in and then had to return it to the library. So now I finally got to finish it. This is about like there's two sides to the story. There's one from like the 1800s and then there's one in the present time. The present time is a girl who is a diver and she's searching for sunken ships because she wants to find this treasure that her dad has always told her about. And then the 1800s is about a girl who she's not a siren, so she's not like a mermaid, but she can like manipulate the sea. I forget the word that they used for it. Um because it was an Italian word. It's all based in Italy, and, it's all about, like, men coming to try and capture the girls that have these powers, and then the pirate ships and all these kind of things. It's very, very good. I found it to be, like, mediocre. Think I gave it 3 stars. I thought the premise of the idea was really good, so I was really excited about it, but the execution was only, like, it was okay. And then I read I'm gonna butcher this name, so I apologize. The House Sphere? The Sphere is like the last name, and it is by Marissa Meyer, and she's my favorite author ever, and I loved that book so much. Loved it, and then I listened to Yellowface, and then I listened to Nothing Like the Movies because I had to read the second one immediately. I could not stop listening I listened to both of these. I could not stop listening to Better Than the Movies. It like, every time I went anywhere, I would have my headphones on. It was that good. I usually take a few days to finish an audiobook, and this one I did in 1 day and then a little bit the next day. It was so, so good. I loved it. And then I'm putting tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow in there because I'm very, very optimistic that I am going to finish that. Speaking of such, I just I am almost done a hold for a book in the let me get the right name here for you. In the Maple Hills series. So I read the first two. The first one is Icebreaker. The second one, I forget the name of it. It's like a pinky cover, Wildfire or something like that. And then the third one is Daydream. Now I got the first one I thought was the second one even worse. And for some reason I put a hold on the third one and I don't know if I want to read it. So I'm curious if anybody has read that series and if they have read Daydream and if they think I should read it or not. Because honestly, I am so close to saying I'm just DNFing this series and being done because I didn't have a great time with the first or the second. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know if you have read that series and if you've read the third one, what your opinion is on that. My goal is to read a bunch of series this year and I've been doing terrible. And so I've been kind of going through and saying, do I actually want to continue that series? Yes or no? If I do, I'm going to put a DNF. Sorry, if I don't, I'm going to put a DNF on that series tracker today to decide yes or no if I'm going to keep that series. So I'm curious to know if I should keep reading it. If you guys can let me know your opinions, that would be fantastic. Okay, let's fill in my star rating at the end because I kind of want to get these books in here because we've read so many. Okay, so first one is On Wings of Blood. I do not need... Oh, wait, I have to put my stats page in. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Let's get that done first. Whew. I feel like I've been talking so much. How are you guys doing? If you're just jumping in here, hello and welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you read our book club books, let me know what you guys think of them. Okay. Where did I put that? Oh, here. So that was my thoughts on Yellowface. My thoughts so far on Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Oh, it's going to get hard to say. I'm just going to call it Tomorrow. My thoughts on Tomorrow so far, I'm only 56% done, but I am loving it. And my thoughts are, it's so good. So it is about two friends making a video game. That is essentially what it is. Basically, the part that I have gotten up to is that, oh, that's the same one, is that there is a guy named Sam and a girl named Sadie. And they meet each other in the hospital because Sadie's sister is in the hospital for, she has cancer as a child. And let me just see here, sorry. I just need to pull these out before I keep going. Favorite book added to TBR. And Sam is there because he was involved in a car accident where unfortunately his mother was killed, but it destroyed his foot. And he has had to have multiple surgeries to correct this foot and stuff like that. So they meet each other in the games room in the hospital, and they chat with each other and they become good friends. And they ask Sadie, because no one has been able to get Sam to talk since he's been in the hospital, they ask Sadie to come and see him as part of like a community service type of thing, and she would get credit for it for her bar mitzvah thing and stuff like that. And so she decides to do that. Books read, physical books, audiobooks, pages read, time listened. So she decides to do that. She becomes extremely close with Sam. They play video games every single day at the hospital. They laugh and they have a good time. Like, they are really, really good friends. Well, he does find out that she is doing this for community service, but while she is doing this for community service, she still really does like him and like treats him like such a good friend. But he doesn't like that, so they have a falling out and they do not speak to each other for years. The book fast forwards into multiple different timelines. So it fast forwards to when they are in college. Okay, most read genre, 5-star reads, series completed, unit books. Most read genre. And they meet each other again and they decide they are going to make a video game together. And it is them making this video game and then them making friends with Sam's roommate, who is Marks. And the three of them make the video game along with the help a little bit of Sadie's boyfriend, who is her old teacher. Okay, where is that? There we go. Longest book, shortest book, average rating. So they start making this video game. It's sorry, what am I trying to say? The book does really well, and then they decide to go and make a second one. So as far as I am, they have made their book, or sorry, their game, and they have been successful. They have made another one, and then it jumps to another timeline where they are in California now and they are a little bit older and they've kind of been more successful. So they kind of move their video game like company to California to better like get more help, and Sam needs to have surgery on his foot again. So they move out there, and I am still in the part where they're in California. Now, what I find super interesting about this book is the fact that they will talk about, like, they'll say, Sam went to the hospital and he saw this, it reminded him of his mother. And then all of a sudden it will jump to a whole story about his mom, like back when he was little, when she was still alive and stuff like that. And it will jump from story to story to story. And I really have been loving it. I don't find it very confusing, but I find it very interesting. And I have been really, really liking that. Like, it will talk about something for a while, and then just as you think, like, it's going to, like, what's an example? Like, they'll leave you hanging on, like, whether or not they decided to do something, and in order to switch that, they will switch back to a time when they were younger again and a story about that, and it will kind of bring you back to the present and stuff like that. So I thought that was really interesting. I've been really liking that switch back and forth. Okay, so we are doing this. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I have been loving all of the mechanics. I feel like the thing that I didn't like about Yellowface and the fact that it's like a this is how it works and this is what you do is very similar in Tomorrow and Tomorrow since they are making a game. So that's kind of funny that I found it a critique in the one, but I don't in the other one. And I think it's because there is dialogue between people. Like that was the one thing I was really missing in Yellowface is that there was no dialogue between different people really. It was mostly just one person's point of view, one person's perspective. And I think if there was more dialogue in from different people, I would have liked the story more. Oh, I almost forgot this. So the book breaks itself down into different parts. I think there is 10 different parts, and the 10 different parts have like multiple chapters in the different parts. And I believe I'm on part 5 or part 6. Yeah, and really enjoying it so far. There are definitely some some spicier things, but not like really spicy, but like they touch on a couple topics. So if that's not your jam, but it's not like a spicy book, it's more like yeah, I don't know how to describe it. I would just check your trigger warnings for different things like that for that book. But I find it very funny. Like a lot of the characters are really entertaining and funny, so that's always really nice. Okay, I finally get to use this Better Than the Movies kit. I think it's so cute. Loved this book so much. Okay, so that is book number 1 for me. And book number 2 is The Amalfi Curse. I'm going to kind of put some pages aside here. And The Amalfi Curse is a book that I listened to. So I'm going to take out my audiobook. And what I have been doing this year in my book journaling that I have been loving is I have been, if I don't have a book club kit for the book, I have been printing off some pages of some like inspiration from the book that I have loved. So for this one, I'll show you which ones I'm going to pull. Where are my book covers? Oh, right up here. Duh. Amalfi Curse. Put that in there. Now, I have templates for these book covers on my website, and I keep forgetting to put the audiobook one. So let me know if you want me to put those on there. I keep forgetting, but I can put that as a free template on there as well. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. So this book deals with a lot of shipwrecks, and there is some divers like going to the shipwreck. So I thought that one was perfect. It is based in Italy, and they always talk about like how gorgeous the scenery is. So I'm gonna put this picture to represent that. One of the biggest things was about treasure. So I'm gonna put this little pirate's treasure in there. Oh, actually, there is this giant sticker here I'm gonna put in first. Let's put this ship, pirate ship on there, and then we'll put the pirate treasure up here. Sorry, I'm kind of knocking that around a lot. And then the last picture I have for this audiobook is a little Vespa because they ride on the Vespa. So I think I liked the nowadays version better than the 1800s. And it's kind of funny because when I was looking up reviews for this book, the people were saying the opposite. Like they really liked the 1800s version, but I just felt like there wasn't enough. Like there should be more of that. There was so much more of the nowadays um, story that I think I was just more invested in it because it gave more details and more information. So I think that they should add more of the 1800s side of it to get me a little bit more hooked. Okay, the next book is a book that I physically read, which have been so few and far between this year, to be completely honest. I have not been doing a good job at reading physically. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and I just haven't had the time to like do a lot of actual reading, but I got a bunch of books on my Kobo now, so I am good to go for a little bit. I can get back into it. That is The House Saphir. I'm probably really butchering this name. It is by Marissa Meyer, who is my favorite book. And this book is about a haunted mansion. And so it is about a girl and her sister who have their mother was like had petty magic, and they run tours at like a haunted mansion, and they get asked to, because they people believe that they are witches, and they get asked to kind of resurrect or to take away the ghost that is haunting this one house. And they go to the mansion even though they know that they are not able to do this. They were get offered a lot of money, so they are going to go anyways. And then by the time that they notice that they are not actually able to do that kind of magic, they will be able to get somebody else to do it for them, and kind of then they can step away and they can claim all the money for themselves, and then they can go and live somewhere else that they because they want to like move away because life is really difficult. They're very poor and their mother has passed, and they would like move away. So it's them. One girl can see ghosts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of ghosts in there. And so she talks to the ghosts. They are very funny. I really like them. The guy who owns the manor, he is like supposed to be this big lord, and he has like this big vineyard, and he does a lot of stuff with his greenhouse. We have like a haunted mansion and like a graveyard because she loves graveyards and stuff like that. And then her sister reads tarot cards. So I added that in there. The magic system is fantastic if you like a little like it's not a scary book, but it's just got a lot of like mystery, a little bit adventure kind of thing. It's fantastic. Highly, highly recommend this book. I loved it. Next book we have is Yellowface. So we finally get to do our book club book. I'm going to put this one over here. And let's do that. So what do you guys up to this evening? Are you journaling along with me? Are you just listening in the background? What are you guys up to this evening? Let's get the picture. I think people are enjoying the sunshine. We don't have a lot of people here, which I fully expect in May because people are loving the outdoors right now, which they should. Okay, I love this artwork. So cute. So we're going to put Yellowface here. We have some quotes. Put this up here this time. Maybe put the quote. Actually, I think I'm going to put the book club symbol here. And then maybe the quote with it. And some pens. And yeah. So next month, our book club book, our main book club book is called Light Between Oceans, The Light Between Oceans. And that is by M.L. Stedman. It is a historical fiction book, which that is going to be a new one for me. I don't know if I even read a historical fiction before. Maybe in the past that I don't remember, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. It is not my usual genre, so it's going to be interesting for me for sure. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Are you guys excited for it? Or is it not your genre and you're a little bit nervous like me? And then our secondary book, the book from the Advent calendar, is How to End a Love Story. And this is a romance book, and it does not have very good ratings on Goodreads right now. I was just looking before I popped on here, but it was on Reese Witherspoon's list and it did get nominated for some awards. So I don't know, maybe it isn't as good as it was before, but we will try that one out for sure. So here is Yellowface. And then we are going to move on to Nothing Like the Movies. Let's just get rid of these. And Nothing Like the Movies is another audiobook. Historical fiction is not my favorite genre. I finished reading by a Canadian author I enjoyed. Okay, so maybe it's just something that I have to give a try, even if it's not my favorite genre. Let's add this here. And then, okay, so I always look up like fan art for this to give me ideas of what pictures to pick. And this popped up and honestly is just was so good. I couldn't even like find these things better myself. So I'm just honestly just going to stick this in here. This is just a collage of pictures that are representative of the movie or the book, I mean. It's because the book has the movie in the title that I said that. Okay, let's try and lift this bottom up because I'm going to put that underneath. Ooh. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, that works good. Sorry for all the shaking, guys. That looks good. Let's move this sheet out of the way and that sheet out of the way. I am excited. I've heard such good things about this book, though, to be honest. I have heard amazing, amazing things, and it was recommended to me a long, long time ago. And so I wanted to give it a try for book club. And I have it here. So this book I actually got at a used like book sale that my town does. I found it in like one of those big bins or whatever, and I was like, no way, it was one of our book club books. So I got the book after I had already picked it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's put in Nothing Like the Movies. And then How to End a Love Story is a book I'm probably going to listen to personally. Okay, and then the last one that I have is going to be Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Okay, let's put it at the bottom. There we go. If you guys have not seen, the book club books for July, August, and September are now out. So if you like to get them in advance, they are out. And we are going to be in the Canadian Plan Arts Collective sale this weekend. If you did not know, and you are looking forward to that. The July book is going to be Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I am honestly so excited to read that book that I have been wanting to just read it anyways, like just read it now. And a big part of me is like, well, there is 8 books, so I could read it and then I might be able to read like another one before book club. I don't know. What do you guys think on that? Do you guys think that I should wait or just read it when I want to read it? I am very curious to know if you guys are also as excited because my Instagram has literally been in its entirety that book series. And I really want to read it. I know so many people that have loved it. And so it's just making me want to read it even more. It looks hilarious. It looks very fun. And I kind of just want to just read it now. I have it on my Kobo already, so like it's already waiting for me. All right, we're gonna put in all this video game stuff. It's kind of cool because because the book starts off when they are little, it starts off in the 90s, but like it's becoming more current. So now they're talking about like more current games, and I find that so exciting and interesting because before they were talking about um, like older video games like Mario and like Donkey Kong and stuff like that, but now they're talking about more games that I have played. Obviously, I've played Mario and Donkey Kong, but um, more like current games that I have played. So that's really cool. Let's lift this up. I think their concepts for games too are really interesting because the author kind of has to come up with a bunch of video games that don't exist and like something they're very artsy types video games, if that makes sense. Very interesting. All right, we are going to go with that for tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. That is all. If I finish another book we have here, or I'm going to put my June dashboard because I actually do have my summer TBR already there. I was filming the other day and I added it to that. So I already had that all set up. I am really happy with how these are turning out, but I'm going to go to the beginning here and add in my different stats. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to put 6 in here for now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I won't write on them because I don't want to shake the camera too much for this one, but I put my 6 items in the bookshelf, and if I actually finish tomorrow and tomorrow, I will add it in there as well. We don't need to do anything for my reading scale. We don't need to worry about that. We can fill out my reading goal, I think. Actually, I'm going to skip that because I don't know how many books I've read, if that is actually up to date. So I'm going to leave that, or is that accurate? Let me just check here. Goodreads. See if it's slow enough. It must be correct, right? Let me just do a quick count here. Oof, where's the beginning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Yes, okay. So we can add 6 more in there for sure. So I brought those markers out. And we're on this one, so we can do 6 more. Feels so good when you get to like add so many. I feel like I've had so many months where I've had such low reading months. Feels good to actually get a bunch in. That's 2. This is 3. I have been playing around with the idea of returning to Plan With Me's again. And I have been thinking of, because I am trying to catch up on finishing all my planners, but I have not started 2026 yet. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do, like, on one day do my last week's spread, and then another time do like a throwback Thursday, and then we start at the beginning and kind of like catch up for the rest of the year. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. So what do you think? Would you guys still watch Plan With Me videos on YouTube? And do you still like them? If you do you like sped up with a voiceover? Do you like chatty ones where you talk through them? What do you like for Plan With Me? So if you watch this after the fact, let me know too, and I will work on that. 26 books in 2026. Let's see. I read The House Fire. I read one. Yay! I have not been prioritizing this list. I need to do that. I'm nervous it's gonna bleed if I go over the words. Oh, no. We are good. The Lost Apothecary, Heavenly Bodies. The Amalfi Curse. Look at that, too, guys. I need to make sure I'm checking this list when I'm making my TBR. That's what I need to do. I was making my summer TBR and I was kind of going through and seeing some like summary books to read. And my TBR is definitely not summary. Oh, and I read Yellowface. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize that was on my list. 3 books. Awesome. Awesome. Very happy about that. Okay, genre tracker. I brought out my genre stickers here, and we're just going to go through them. So on Wings of Blood, that is a fantasy book. Better Than the Movies is romance. The Amalfi Curse is, I would say, fantasy. Magical realism. Maybe I will say magical realism. The House Fire, I would say the same thing. Yellowface, I would say fiction. And Nothing Like the Movies is romance. Did I get to 18 here as well? Perfect. Same number. Perfect. Awesome. Then I want to pick my favorite book for May, and that is definitely The House Fire. And I need to print this other book here to like decide between those two. And then in June, we'll get to pick between that one. I'm not doing my reading mosaics. I'm a little bit behind and I need to figure that out. But I am going to add in The House Fire here. This one. 5 stars for this one. There we go. And then I'm going to add in these next 3 books that we have picked for the book club. We have Dungeon Crawler Carl. We have Our Perfect Storm, which is kind of crazy because this is going to be our July book, our August book, I mean. And when we started in July last year of our book club, we picked another Carly Fortune book. So that was really cool to kind of like go full circle there. And then we have The Story Keeper, which is a newer book coming out. Okay, so now I get to fill in these books. So Better Than the Movies, I get to fill in for 5 stars. I won't fill in Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow yet. The way I'm going, it's looking like a 4, so we'll see how it goes. And then Yellowface, I gave 3. Honestly, I think it's a 2, but gave it a 3. The ending pulled it in for me. Okay. I'm going to leave the bingos, but I was going to go through my series tracker and decide. I have officially decided I am DNFing Dark Olympus series. I am just not in the mood at all for like super heavy romance. So I'm just going to DNF that series. I still want to read Bridgerton. I am reading Zodiac Academy. I'm listening to this series and I wait a long time for parts 1 and part 2. So sometimes like I'm 50% done a book, but it takes me like months to get part 2 because it's so popular. So I'm still reading that. It's just I can only go so fast. They are only like I am currently waiting for the next book because they are still producing the audiobooks. So I won't be finishing that this year, but at least I'm like actively trying to make progress on it. Windy City series, I want to read the second one because I did really like the first one. Villains definitely keep. I don't even know what this series is. I'm going to have to look it up. This is the Fourth Wing series, I believe. And I do want to read Onyx Storm. I don't know what this one is. This one, it comes out in the summer. Glimmer Falls. Yes, I do want to read that one. Maple Hills is the one that I'm questioning. I don't know whether or not I want to keep reading it or not. So I'm going to leave that. Grandest Games is coming out this summer. This one's on my TBR to read this summer, and so is this one and this one. This one comes out this summer. This is on my TBR. Dream Harbor series. I don't know if I want to keep reading it, but yeah, I'm just not like loving it. So maybe I'll read a few of them here. The Spellbound Sisters, I really want to read the second, and that's the Crescent Moon Tea Room. So I want to read that one. I haven't read any One Pieces or the mystery books or Pretty Little Liars, which I still want to keep reading. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to DNF that series, but let me know what you guys think of Maple Hills if you've read it. I'm not going to fill out my reading passport, and I have no more DNFs to add into here. Do I? I do actually. What did I DNF? Oh no, maybe it was just Good Spirits that I DNF'd the other day. And the trope challenge I'm going to fill out by myself, and that is that. Whew. I feel like I talked way too much today. Okay, so let's just go through what we all did. So we have our May dashboard and our May reads. We have our May stats page. We have our page for Better Than the Movies, for the Amalfi Curse, the House Sphere, Yellow Face, Nothing Like the Movies, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. So much reading this month. I'm so happy with my progress. I hope you guys did too. Let me know how many books you guys read in May. If you guys like that, let me know all the things that I was chatting about, the YouTube videos, everything like that. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and enjoy the weather of May. And I'll see you guys next month. I'll be putting it in the book club app. And we're going to be reading Light Between Oceans, which is historical fiction, and we are going to be reading How to End a Love Story, which is the optional second book. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye, everybody.